Hi, I'm Caddy Lee Preston, bringing you surprising stories closer to home. So, if you live in Kent or Sussex, this is the show for you. Hello and welcome to Inside Out. This week coming to you from the High Weald. Now, ever since the massive expansion of Europe 2 years ago, there's been a huge influx in workers from Eastern Europe. For many, they're a necessary and welcome addition, but others see them as taking away jobs from British workers. The largest group of Eastern Europeans here are the Poles, more than 500,000 of them. Many heading for the southeast, where a building boom means there's work to be found, though not always a warm welcome.
There's only a certain amount of jobs to go round, and in long term I would say the prices will be pushed down, and it'd be hard to earn a living.
We all got mortgages and cars and insurances, stuff like that, where they haven't, and they will just beat us, hands down.
But many of the Poles have settled and become a part of life here in the southeast, even making their mark on our high streets. Shops like this Polish deli in Tunbridge Wells are now a fairly common sight, providing much missed foods from home, like sausages and rye bread, evidence that Poles living here are putting money back into the local economy. There are even Polish bars where you can enjoy a glass of piwo. It's a regular haunt for Polish workers who often do jobs that British workers don't want to do, but while many recognise the benefits, others claim it's making it tough for British job seekers. Much of those complaints are centred on the building industry. It's labour intensive, so a few pounds saved on hourly rates can reduce the construction costs by thousands. This two-storey extension was built using Polish labour. The cost using British workers was quoted at £209,000, but by employing Poles, the total was reduced to £147,000, cutting the cost by £62,000. On a big project like this, it can mean savings in the millions. It makes economic sense, but is it fair? The complaint is that Polish workers are pushing down pay rates and taking jobs from British workers. We've come to this street in Sevenoaks to see the changing face of British construction. The same street, but poles apart. At one end, the British builders. At the other end, earning around half as much, this group of Polish workers. Colin and Trevor have been in the building game all their working lives and resent the newcomers down the road.
They're coming in, they're doing it for less money of what the English people are. Like you can get 2 or 3 for our sort of money. And we've got mortgages and stuff like that, and cars to run, vans to run. They're just affecting us all the time.
We can't understand why we open our gates to everyone and let them flood the market with trades, whereas, you know, I've been through 2 recessions and it has been hard, you know, and to see that things are looking better now, and all of a sudden the government have opened the doors and said, well, anyone can come in and have a bit of the cake.
They're chancers, they're not good at their job, they can't speak the English, and it's not happening, and I think it's wrong.
Feelings, it appears, are running high at that end of the street, but what of the job down the road? What do the Polish workers see as their role here? Jarek has lived here for 3 years with his wife and young family. He's what's known as a gangmaster, supplying British building firms with Polish labour.
I think they're coming just for work, you know, and doing the good building work. And I have plenty work with the English company, and all working, I think, good. They happy, I'm happy, and my boss, the English guy, is happy, and I think all the customer is happy, and all is okay.
Jarek not only transports the workers from Poland, but puts them up in rented accommodation. Here, 8 of his workers share a 1-bedroom house, sleeping 4 to a room.
Nie ma co narzekać. Spanie jest.
There's no reason to complain. There's a place to sleep. The only worry is that you're far from your family.
Jest tak jak jest dobrze. No, żeby zarobić parę złotych więcej.
We came here to earn more money to take home with us, or send extra cash home. You can earn more here. There are jobs in Poland, but you can't earn as much as here.
Przyjechałem, by zarobić, rodzinę utrzymać.
I came to earn money to feed my family.
No bo ile dadzą, tyle się bierze, bo to jest...
We accept lower rates because we can't demand more. We can't just say we want this and that. Russians and Ukrainians are coming to Poland, Polish are going to the United States. It's always the same if there's a better job somewhere else.
Our Polish team say they're working legally and paying their taxes. But many in the construction industry say the black market in cheap labour is rife.
Well, I'm actually in the building trade as a project manager, and I do take on contractors, and the contracts do employ the Polish, and they do work for less than £3 an hour, and I'm actually a witness to it many times. I can't say nothing, because as far as I'm concerned, I've given the job to the contractor who he employs to take on the work. It's up to him.
Outside his day job, Stephen Lukacs works with youngsters on this housing estate. His concern is that less well-educated youth are missing out on the opportunities the building trade used to offer them.
You've got to understand that employers will go for people that work at £2.80 an hour instead of the minimum wage, which is £5, 5 pence an hour. So you can understand that people are out to make a profit, and if these grown men are prepared to work for that sort of money, why take on the youth?
Curtis is 17 and a painter and decorator. He's finding it increasingly difficult to get work.
A lot of them turn you down because you want a lot more money than the Polish, and sometimes the Polish work a lot longer hours than you. They expect too much for too little.
The problem is, where the youths are not getting into work, these kids will start to resorting to crime, staying late in the morning before getting out of bed, staying up late at night, and just causing problems for the community.
People aren't getting no work, so people are just doing nothing all day, and then they're just getting into a lot of trouble and crime, and the whole community is just going into a big mess, and it's just getting worse since they come over, really.
But many British building contractors defend the use of Eastern European labour, and not just on the basis of cost.
They are very, very keen to work. If I say lift something heavy, they'll say how high. A lot of the British labour that I've used before, as labourers, aren't really interested in working. As soon as they get a wage, they want to go and buy whatever they buy for recreation, drugs, whatever.
The free movement of labour is part of what the EU is all about. And if some workers are prepared to be more competitive than others, then surely that's just market forces at work. But are we prepared to live with the consequences?
They keep coming over and taking all the work. It doesn't look very good. We're not getting no work, they're just taking it all from us.